Hey friends, welcome to the Perry Center podcast where life meets life. My name is Nate. I'm the executive director for the Perry Center Maternity Home in West Fargo. Thank you for listening and watching. In this episode, I am joined by a great friend of the ministry and former resident of the Perry Center, Ashley Davison. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
A little nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your willingness to come on the show. And I think you have a beautiful story of life has been very difficult, but seeing what God has done in your life now and transformation. When we talk about the residents that we work with, like my desire is for them to know Jesus and to live healthy in independence. And when we worked with you, you were just checking all the boxes, doing the things that were asked of you, and you were moldable. And seeing you come in, and when you left the Perry Center, it was just wow, a complete life transformation.
Right.
And we actually go back to the very beginning of your Perry Center journey, because I met you at the train station
3 a.m.
at 3 a.m. And so I was your first contact to our ministry. And so I'm just super excited that you said yes to this. So thank you.
Yes.
And so I just want to jump in. Like, your life is so unique and so different than many other people in this world. And tell me a little bit of your story and just maybe kind of where you came from, and we'll kind of journey all the way to when you got to the Perry Center.
Okay. All right. Well, I am from California. Yeah, I don't have anybody out here in North Dakota family wise. I grew up with my mom and dad. They were divorced though. So I went back and forth weekends and stuff. And, I moved into my mom's house from my dad's when I was 14, because, there was an incident that happened that was making it really hard to stay at my dad's. And yeah, so moved there, and I finished high school there, but I did get pregnant my senior year with my son, Aiden, who's now 13. So it's crazy because he's huge. He's taller than me. He has a mustache. It's crazy.
I could not grow a mustache at the age of 13.
No, he's proud of it too.
Yeah.
He's proud.
I
Yeah.
would say all 13-year-olds have a mustache. They're going to be stinking proud.
Yeah.
My son is about at that age, and he has this little fuzz, and he's like, "You like my mustache?"
Yeah.
So it always cracks me up. Any of those pre-teenage, they're so goofy, so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, that happened when I was. Well, I got pregnant at 17, had him at 18. Immediately after I had him, he was maybe a month old, and that's when my life kind of just started going downhill. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you and I have talked a lot about this. So, I mean, is it okay that I jump into some of these questions that you and I have kind of talked about and some of your story? So being pregnant at 17, obviously that was a shock, I'm sure. And you said, once you had your son, a couple months later, a few months later, things started spiraling. Do you kind of have an idea of what was that piece that you noticed that things really started making a change in your life, or where was the change happening?
I honestly don't know what changed in my head to start, where I started making the bad decisions I did, but I know what happened. I was going to junior college, and I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. And, my son was about a month old, I started in the summer semester. And yeah, I met a girl in one of my classes who we decided to like ditch class. I know I shouldn't have did that, but I did. And yeah, she took me to this house, and yeah, people were using drugs there. And I just met a guy, and I wanted to do what he was doing. So I just started smoking, and I kind of like never stopped. Like
Yeah.
from that point on, I just dropped all my classes. I quickly got kicked out of my mom's house for like the things I was doing. And I lost my job, and yeah, just went straight to being homeless, like sleeping outside at like 18. So it just all happened really quick.
Yeah. And when we're talking about drug culture, I mean, 18, that's young. And was that your first experience with drugs, or did you have kind of a history of trying drugs earlier on? I've talked with people that start at 11, 12, 10, you know, and so kind of what was that first experience with drugs? Was it later around that 18, 19, or was it earlier?
Before I got pregnant my senior year, I for a couple months was like experimenting with Vicodin. I stopped when I got pregnant. Other than that, you know, I maybe drank a couple times in high school. That was really the extent of it.
It wasn't until that junior year of college, going to a place where there's a whole bunch of people using various drugs, whatever, and it was because everybody else was doing it, right? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know why I did it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for sharing that. When it comes to, you know, your drug use, you know, some people get hooked immediately, or sometimes it's a prolonged thing where like, I felt awful, felt terrible, and then just kept on doing it. What was your experience with that?
Well, I started using meth that day. I started using meth, and I did that for well, I mean, I did it the last 12 years, but it was about 6 months that I was just doing that, like basically every day. I didn't really know I was addicted. I thought I was just choosing to do it every day, but I mean, it wasn't until I couldn't get it after, you know, maybe a month of doing it that I started to like feel uncomfortable. And I was like, man, I need to get this. Like, I really have to do it. And then like 6 months into that is when I did heroin, and it was like like I just honestly I loved it, and I didn't start getting like dependent on it until maybe doing it after a month, like every day. But yeah, I know that like once I did that, like heroin especially, that was like I knew I didn't ever want to stop. Like I really liked it. And it's just like hard looking, like thinking about that, because I was like choosing to do that instead of being with my baby. And I don't even know how like your brain does that, but like the drugs really do like change your way of thinking. And so I'm just so grateful that I don't have that like thought anymore.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to see again a life completely transformed, and we will definitely be celebrating that in some moments. You know, 17 is young. To world kind of turned upside down. First unplanned pregnancy. moving into kind of drug culture, and spiraling. And so my guess is life got tougher before it got better. So tell me a little bit about kind of that progression. Cause you went several years, using 12 years,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. And so, would you be open to sharing a little bit of kind of how it progressed and some of the roads that you kind of went down, if you're comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was sleeping outside for about, I don't know, maybe a month with the guy that I had met. And then I, realized like, oh, I can get motels. And so I started panhandling for like motel money and stuff. And I found out pretty quickly that like worked really well for me. I think because I looked really young and I didn't really look like I used drugs yet. So I'm sure they assumed I was panhandling. So, but it really did work for me to get the motel money. And then once I started staying in motels, like that's like a whole nother lifestyle on its own, just crazy chaos all the time. And like the people, you get mixed into them really easily. And, yeah, so I did that for a while. I I met a guy who I was 18, he was 37, and he kind of like took me in a little bit, and he told me he loved me, and I thought he loved me, and I thought I loved him, and I knew him for about a week, and yeah, and but he actually was trying to pimp me out and behind my back though, and I didn't know. And then like he would send in somebody and he would leave, and the guy would tell me, that I was supposed to do something, and I wouldn't believe him. And I didn't believe this guy. I was like, oh, he loves me. He wouldn't want me to do that. And the guy ended up like slapping me in the face, and so it's just like that was just a really hard time because I ended up doing that for a while. And then I finally left him. Like I actually like had to like really try to leave him because he didn't want me to leave. And
Can I jump in for a moment? So that's a severely traumatic time in your life. And thanks for sharing like that bit. We don't have to dive super deep into that. But there's that moment that I think you felt like something's not right. I mean, it took maybe a while. Again, skewed love, empty promises, all of the things that you probably heard, right?
yeah.
It was very brave for you to step out and try to leave. So what was that kind of clicking moment to something has to change, or I have to do something different?
I think it was just a lot to handle. I was really new in that lifestyle. So, and he was a lot bigger than me, and him being like physical with me was scary. Because he was really aggressive. So, yeah, but I think that after I left that, I think it changed me a little bit. So, yeah, I just kept making really bad decisions after that. But I tried to like take it into my own hands and like, yeah, so I started working at brothels, in Nevada, and I thought I was being legitimate about it because I thought, oh, it's legal, so it's fine. And I wasn't really thinking too much into it if it affected me. I was like pretty numb because of the drugs.
And it became this cycle,
Yeah.
right? It started with this one guy,
Yeah.
and a very tough experience and physical experience, and then and then it became this continuation. Almost what is not normal was tried to be made normal, right, in
Yeah.
your life, that this is an okay thing or a regular thing, survival thing. And in a way, it took a piece of you that was, I can continue in a legal way, right?
Right. Yeah. But really nothing. It didn't really seem like at the time. It didn't really seem like that. All that like strange to me. It seemed. I think because of the people I was surrounding myself with, it seemed really like normal almost. So I don't know. Maybe I was just like telling myself that.
And conditioned,
Yeah.
that it is normal. Everybody is doing it. That sounds like the classic cliche, but this friend group, this is what we do, or this
Yeah.
is what it is. And then you're a part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also really was new to that lifestyle, and I wanted like friends because all my friends I had dropped them all like when I started using. So I really wanted people to like me. So I just kind of did what I could do to like fit in and look cool, and yeah.
So you're working in these brothels in Nevada. So you kind of have traveled from California, made your way there. Your mother was taking care of your son, right? And so there was that separation to, that process, again, very traumatic. And I'm sure there's a lot of wounds and things from that. How long was that process, and when did you start seeing yourself kind of starting to get out of it or step away, or was that something that you're always a part of till kind of the end?
Well, I've worked at a couple of them, so it was in the beginning of my drug use, and then I did it again maybe 5 years ago. So I did stop for a while, but I did go back to it. Yeah, but it was, knowing that I wasn't around my son was kind of like too hard to think about. So I would just try to not think about it. Because, when I call, and my mom is like, what are you doing? What are you thinking right now? And it's like, what do you say? What do you say? Like, just, there was nothing I could say that would make sense because it didn't make sense.
And did your mom have kind of an understanding of what you were doing, or had no idea?
No, she didn't know. She didn't know. I think, at some point she did find out something, but I know it wasn't until later. I think we still haven't really talked about it, but I'm just, I don't know. I don't really want to go into it with her, so, and I mean, I'm sure she, would agree with that. I mean, if I need to, I know she would listen. But yeah, I cannot remember this Bible verse, but I know that it says, it said, forget the former things, and like I'm making a way in the wasteland or something. I cannot remember the words, but I know I'm not like supposed to forget, but I'm it's not me anymore. So
Yeah.
it's just something that happened that
Yeah.
I came out of.
Yeah. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, again, coming from difficult situations, heavy drug use and past, I'd love to fast forward a little bit. And I think you would agree, like, let's fast forward a little bit.
I'm tired of being on the edge of crying.
No, it's totally okay. Again, this is your story, and your story is powerful. And I think it's important for people to understand where you came from.
Right.
And where you're at now. And that's the whole point and purpose of this show. And so it is embarrassing or shameful feeling that like you're sharing some of these things, but it isn't, because we know God has completely redeemed you.
Right.
And so I'm so excited to get to that point of your story. And so let's fast forward a little bit. So we're coming out of that situation. You eventually made your way to North Dakota.
I did.
It's not everybody's like
Right.
cup of tea here. It takes a special.
Yeah.
It takes a special human being to be
Right.
in the upper Midwest.
Right. What a weird
Thick
decision.
skin, especially coming from
California.
southern temps and all of that. So how did you get up here? What brought you up here? And then we'll start transitioning into how we connected.
Yeah.
At the Perry Center.
Yeah, no, I love talking about this actually. Yeah, so I did come to North Dakota for not the best reasons. I don't really want to get into, but I was here. Me and my fiance were living on the other side of North Dakota, in Minot, and I was pregnant. I was 4 months pregnant. I was still using. I wanted to get clean. It's so hard. It's hard to do. I tried to put myself in rehab. I left right away. Our house got raided 3 days later. And, so I always say this, like, I feel like, because I was too scared to withdraw the first time, and I feel like that was God, like, saying, no, you're going to withdraw. You're going to get clean. And so, yeah, I did. I got off drugs in jail. We both did. We got out of jail. I put myself.
This raid was the thing that forced you.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is it. And God is like, have you had enough?
Yeah.
I've been trying to get your attention here. And if it's going to take a SWAT team to break into this place and grab a hold of you and say your life is going to change, I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, it's probably an intense situation, probably wasn't the greatest situation, but knowing that is the thing.
Yeah.
That started this whole process.
And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful for it. But I was literally in jail. I was 4 months pregnant and in front of a judge telling me that my charges carry up to 20 years in prison, like 4 months pregnant. And I'm like thinking like, okay, wow, but, I bailed out and I put myself into treatment. After treatment, I had planned on going to sober living. But I graduated, then they denied me of the sober living because I was pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be homeless, because we had gotten evicted when we got raided. I'm like, I'm going to be homeless, pregnant. in North Dakota, no family, like
Winter months.
yeah, yeah, oh my, it was horrible. So scary. That is not a good place to be at, but I found the Perry Center and
So
yeah.
how did you find us?
So when I was at treatment, I was talking to my counselor and we were like looking at places and she was like, "Oh yeah, the Perry Center, it's in Fargo. Like you can go there." And I was like, "Where's Fargo?" Because like I don't know North
I
Dakota.
feel like we get this question so much.
Yeah.
Like Fargo, is that a movie? Is that a
North
TV
Dakota?
show?
Is it in a different? Is that a state?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, and I'm like, okay, so I got accepted, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just got on a train, and then you picked me up at 3 a.m.
I honestly remember the day that you and I interviewed. So at the Perry Center, we do a screening process. There's an application interview process of we are looking for people that want to change their life. We stand for life, all of that. But we want people that are willing to say, hey, you know what? I'm tired of doing what I've been doing and I need a new way of living. Because if you want to come to the Perry Center and just kick up your legs and chill, that's not going to work well for you. And so I remember things were really busy at the Perry Center that day and we were kind of all over the place. Both of our caseworkers were handling certain situations. And then it was, hey, we're supposed to have this like video interview with somebody. They didn't give me all the details. Nate, can you please help us out? And I was like, sure, I'll jump in and field this call. But I had no idea who I was talking to. I didn't know this was a potential resident. And so I literally was on my video phone and I was walking around and I was like doing this tour, but also talking about this like expansion that we were doing. Do you remember that? Yeah. And then it wasn't towards about like 3/4 in. I'm like, oh, this is a potential resident. I was like,
stay here.
Shoot, we got to like change how this like conversation is going. Cause I was just casually like, thought I was talking with financial supporters or people that are just curious about our program. Had no idea. So sorry about that initially, but I think we talked about it much later. Yeah. But yeah, it was one of those things that we saw your willingness, like, hey, I really need something different in my life. Obviously, being pregnant 4 months along, or I can't remember.
I had went to treatment, so at that point, I was about almost 6 months when I came to the Perry Center.
Yeah, six months along and terrified. Yeah. Don't know what I'm going to do, and that eventually got you on a train here.
To get in a car.
Yeah. And
the
so
man at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We will jump into that too, for sure. But I want to take it back just a little bit. So, your son, Jeffrey, who's the sweetest boy.
Sweet.
He is pretty sweet, but okay. You found out you were pregnant.
Yeah.
Tell me that like thought process, especially in the situation that you were in, some of the, some of your circumstances and things that you were going through, you find out you were pregnant. What were your initial thoughts? What were the things that you were thinking about?
My initial thought, well, I kind of like, well, I was scared. I was definitely scared because I knew the way I was living. Me and my fiance, I knew how we were both living. I knew what we were doing. So I knew that it would take, both of us to change. I knew how big of a dream that was, So I was really scared. I didn't know what to do. I don't know. I just decided to keep him, and that was what I did. And I had planned on getting clean. It just took me a little bit to do. I have been pregnant. In that 12 years, I had been pregnant multiple times, and I have had abortions. That was kind of, you know, something that I really did. I was scared to have a baby, like knowing the relationship that I had with Aiden, like how bad I messed up that. And so I just really didn't want to have another baby until I fixed things with my son. So yeah, I have to I'm working on like forgiving myself for that. The abortions I've had, but yeah, I don't know. Like Jeffrey, when I got pregnant with him, it was like something just changed in me, and I just decided to go through with him and keep him, and I'm so glad I did. But it is like I mean, when I'm like looking at him and I think about, like, you know, there was other babies that would be here, and it's just yeah, that's hard. But I'm so grateful for Jeffrey, and I'm just, yeah, I'm so grateful for him.
And that's a hard road.
Yeah,
to go down.
I don't know if I made sense right there. I was kind of rambling.
No, that is a hard road. Having multiple abortions, and it became a cycle. Yeah. From my understanding and from the discussions we had, and so hopefully it's okay I share. Just it's a cycle coming from sex industry. You know, it was just that's what was taught. That is what you knew. You had clouded judgment, you know, with drug use and all of those things, and a lack of a support system, and all of those things. And I thank you for sharing that, because that's extremely hard to share. Yeah. And I know that road is a hard road to go down, and the healing is a long process of that. And we are partnered with people that can even help in those situations and talk through those situations. But yeah, so moving from that to this situation and bringing you to Fargo, North Dakota. In this moment with Jeffrey, you chose life. Yeah. And I think in that moment you said, like, God was grabbing your attention with a raid, coming into your home, being evicted, being homeless, being scared, choosing life for your child, and saying, where do I go? What do I do? Finding the Perry Center and connecting with us and saying, hey, this I think could be a really good place for me to grow in independence and learn to be a mom, because I don't know what I'm doing or how to do it. I don't have that experience. And I remember that time sitting and waiting for you on at the train station. And for those who maybe don't know, like, our situation here, we have residents that are coming from all over the United States. And so about 50% of our residents are coming from outside of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. So we have residents that are from California or Alaska or Texas or Ohio. They find us online, social media. Hey, this is my situation. Could this be an option for me. And we say, yes, we want this to be an option. And so transportation is always extremely complicated in everybody's situation, especially when they're coming from outside the area. How do we get them here? What are the logistics of that? Even outside of Fargo can get a little interesting. And we utilize the train system quite frequently. Fargo, North Dakota, trains are dropping in at around 3:30 in the morning, and they are never on time. The trains are never on time. This morning I was at the train station and it was an hour late, but you still have to wait and try to plan that time. During this time, I don't know you. I met you via phone and talked, and I'm sure that's even scary for you. Like, I'm going to Fargo. I'm meeting some stranger, and he's supposed to take me to this place called the Perry Center. And we talk through all this stuff, like send a picture of this is the person that's picking you up. Legit. I make sure I wear like all my Perry Center gear, like flags and the hats, everything. So, like, hey, I am a safe person. Yeah. We are safe people, and we want to get you to the Perry Center. But because I don't know the time of when exactly you're going to arrive, sometimes I have an hour or 30 minutes or 2 hours that I'm sitting and waiting.
Oh, you seemed fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But no, I pray for every resident coming in that you would know who Jesus is and have a healthy life. And so before we even knew you, outside of that phone conversation, we have been praying for you. All of our team has been praying for you. Even this morning in our current situation, I had a board member and some other team members wake up at the time that I'm at the train station praying for residents coming in. And so we don't take it lightly. It's not like, hooray, we have a new resident. Like, we are praying for you day one. As soon as we know you, we are praying for you. And even that we don't know you, we're like, Lord, would you bring women here that need to be here? And so we know that, like, God is truly bringing people to our ministry, women to our ministry. And so during that hour wait, I've been praying for you and your situation. And then the train shows up and you come walking off the train. We're exhausted. Everyone's tired. You're tired. I'm tired. Like, okay. And that awkward, you get in the car. How much do I talk? Do I not talk?
I remember our conversation. I remember we were driving and you're like, okay, that's the, you're like, this is downtown, or this is, you're just showing me Fargo. You're showing me Fargo, which I was like super interested in, because I'm like, okay, this is going to be my new home. I'm like, I'm going to live in Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Like, and so I remember you were showing me Fargo on the way to the Perry Center.
Tour guide, number one here. So if you're in Fargo, hit me up. I will
great guy.
I'll give you the full tour. So we made it to Fargo, West Fargo specifically, coming to the Perry Center. You get settled in. Tell me about your time at the Perry Center. So now we're kind of moving in a whole different direction, probably going 100 miles an hour for you. Yeah. So tell me what that looked like for you. How was it? What was your experience like? Some of the things that you're learning, kind of all of it.
Okay. I loved being at the Perry Center. I did. I mean, what, there's so many different parts. Okay, well, for one, I loved having my own room with my baby. Like, we have our own room with a crib in there, and that was so cool. And I really enjoyed, like, the classes that we had there. Like, I mean, I'm thinking about what my favorite classes was now. I really liked the cooking class when we learned how to make the black bean hamburgers. I really loved I know, okay, the first day the first day that I was there, cuz I went into my room, you showed me my room. You guys were like, "Okay, yeah, go to sleep. Just wake up when you wake up," cuz it was like super late. I woke up to singing in the because my room was right by the living room, and I remember like I just kind of scared to go out there, but like I peeked out and like I saw everybody out there singing. There was instruments, like everybody was just like, praising the Lord, and I was like, oh, I should go out there. Like I should go out there, but I was too scared to go out there, but I really wanted to. But it was just like there was too many people to meet at once. But it really gave me like a really good like vibe of the type of place I was at. I was like, okay, this is a good place. This is where God wants me. This is, to wake up to like singing.
People leading worship. I remember that day we had a church come in. I don't remember exactly everything about it. Again, I met you at 3:30 in the morning. The next morning we were doing worship. But we had a church come in and just do worship with our staff, with our residents. And it was special that you got to see it like day one, but that is our identity. That's who we are. And that we approach everything in worship and prayer and praise. And, so I do remember that, that moment. That was really cool.
And then you know what? Okay. I've known God my whole life. I mean, I was raised in church. It was kind of more of, my mom making me go. I obviously, fell away a little bit through my 20s, but the seed was planted for sure. And it wasn't until I was at the Perry Center that I started like reading my Bible every single night. And it was like something that I felt like I had to do. And like now I can say that I have literally read like like a lot of the Bible. Like I've read like multiple books, and like I would reread things to where I understood them. And it was such a good feeling. Like being there was like such a healthy feeling. Like my case manager, she, I mean, both of them, they loved me. They did. And I loved them so much. And like, I really felt like it, which meant a lot because, I don't have anybody here. Like, I mean, my family is far away. So being in a place where I was like cared about, meant so much to me. Yeah. And I'm not there anymore. I've been in my own apartment for a while now, but I mean, I can't, I don't know, you probably seen me over there. Like, I keep going back there. Like, I'll pop in.
I see you almost every day. I almost see you. Yeah. And you're hitting the nail on the head here. So we do what we do very well at the Perry Center. We've been doing it a long time. I can't change a life. I can't transform a heart, no matter how great I am at my job or how anybody is at their job. The only thing that is going to transform a life, and the only thing that transformed your life, is the gospel.
Yep.
And what's so beautiful is that is our intentions in our program. One of the questions are on the application, are you open to know who God is? And that's kind of a very like open-ended question. I have never had a potential resident say, no, I'm not interested. Every resident that I've ever worked with is, well, tell me more about that. I don't know what that means. Who is God? And so what I love is that our caseworkers are intentionally sitting down with you and opening up God's word and saying, this is your identity. This is who you are in Christ. So tell me, like, what were some of those takeaways and even some of that like discipleship classes that you were doing, or even just sitting down one-on-one with your caseworker and going through that?
Well, for one, just how she was with me, she let me know right away how I can be honest with her. She made me feel so comfortable. We would like go into it starting with prayer. And like when we were done, we would pray. We weren't going nowhere till we prayed. So that was a really good feeling. We every week we'd meet and we would be going over like a different part of the Bible. Like sometimes there would be like verses I would need to memorize, which is hard for me because my memory is, but I got more than you think I would, because I really did try. We would go over like different stories in the Bible. There was like a list and we would like check them off and like just learn about it, like learn God's word. So I'm really grateful for that, because I feel like I did get educated, and then that coupled with my like Bible reading at night, like I really felt like things were changing for me, and they did, like, tremendously, and I know that's because of God.
Yeah. And it started with a raid. And jumped in, and jumped into, where you're at now.
Yeah.
And I think it's, we're going to fast forward. So you have gone through our program and wild success, doing amazing things. And yes, we could sit probably for like 8 hours talking about our program back and forth. But just a few days ago, so I don't even know what day it is, but last Sunday.
Today's my birthday.
Today is your birthday. You don't know what day
it is.
I do know it's your birthday. So last Sunday was a big Sunday. Tell me about last Sunday.
I got baptized.
You have chosen to follow Jesus and made a public declaration.
I did.
And that was last Sunday.
Oh my gosh. It was so awesome. I knew I wanted to do that for a few weeks. I was wanting to do it, and I signed up for it, and I was just ready. I was reading Romans chapter 6 to like prepare myself for it. And and that day it was like so good. I got to like share a little bit of my testimony in front of my church family, and didn't feel any judgment. just a bunch of people like excited for me to, wash my sins away and be made new in Christ Jesus. And it was so amazing coming up from the water. It was like the best feeling ever. Yeah. It was so crazy.
I was a wreck. I was a wreck, just celebrating you. One, I'm like sitting, it was outdoors, so I'm sitting in the sun. Me and sun don't go well together. And just hearing your story, and I know so much of your story, and I know a lot of details about your life and being at the Perry Center, and just your willingness to even share your story. I think that shows even just the growth there, where you would hide in shame when you first came in, worried about what you were saying or how you were saying it, and to know like you're openly sharing like what God has done in your life. And I was just overwhelmed with joy that I got to be a part of that and witness that. And we've seen several residents choose to follow Jesus and get baptized, and it's so fun to be a part of that whole process. And so life is drastically different for you.
Yes.
Tell me. So, okay, Jeffrey's born, life is happening, job, all of these things. Like, what is life like right now?
Like, I feel honestly like the time that me and Jeffrey get to spend together, I feel like we bond a lot. And I feel like he's like kind of like my best friend a little bit. And so I will have to share him a little bit more now.
Yeah,
with his dad.
He's so sweet, Jeffrey. You have been working with your son too in California. So tell me just a little bit about like how God is building that relationship up with your family, your healthy family.
Okay.
Because I think that's a real big way to kind of show kind of what has been happening in your life too.
Right. So my son he's 13. He's like, going through everything, he was really young, so he didn't really understand. He was just excited to see me or excited to talk to me. But now he's 13 and he's like at the point where he understands like what I did, and so he does hold like a little bit of resentment. But I'm, sober now, and I'm, living how I'm supposed to, following God, and he sees that. So we're working on a relationship right now. I know that he does hold some resentment, but we're working on it. I'm gonna see him next month at the wedding, so I'm really excited.
And when is the last time that you've talked to him and video called and done all that kind of stuff? When's the last time that you saw him?
It has been about a year and 2 months. Yeah, so it's been a long time.
So this is gonna be absolutely huge.
Huge.
That's gonna be so good.
Excited.
Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for you, honestly. Your story is powerful. We could dive into episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of just Ashley of your life. And, point and purpose of this. Yeah, we dive a little bit deeper, but it's still a cliff note of your life and how amazing it is to see where you've been and where God has brought you, and how you're just functioning in life and doing so well. You're part of a healthy church community. You have healthy friend groups. You are doing things that healthy people do.
Right.
Work and childcare and manage a house and all of those things. And so I am so, so proud of you.
Thank you.
I want you to know that everyone at the Perry Center, we are all so proud of you, and to know the things that you're doing, you're crushing it. And, it blows my mind hearing the stories of the past and old Ashley, like can't even tell.
I know, it's like she's gone.
Bye. Get out of here. And so I am just so grateful that God brought you to our ministry. And so this place exists, and you have a very clear understanding of how and why the Perry Center exists. Yeah. We stand for life. We help moms choose life for their children, and you did. And it takes a lot for this place to happen and exist, and a lot of resources. And so we are donor funded. You know that. Right. We are 100% donor funded. So we exist because people invest in us. And so I know a lot of them are listening and watching this podcast. So I think that you have kind of a cool moment, and you've done this in a video before, but if you could tell them anything, what would you tell them?
I would say that this place has changed my life. Can I say what?
You can say anything.
Okay, so I was there during Christmas. We had a tree with presents under there, like from people that don't know us, and those were all like donated to us. That I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. It's such a special place. Like we're supplied with diapers, we're supplied with wipes. I'm actually not even a resident, but I'm a past resident, so I can still get diapers there if I need diapers. Like it's an amazing place, and if you're gonna donate, like this is the place to do it too.
Oh, that's so good. So good. Thank you so much for being a part of this this episode and sharing your story. And I have a sneaky suspicion that you'll probably be on again, and we'll be talking more about your life and what those next chapters are. I'm so excited that you're getting married and in a month, and that you and your family are changing their lives, and that it's not the same. And so I'm just super grateful to be a part of that. And so, friends, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode of the Perry Center podcast, where life meets life. If you're a little unfamiliar with who we are and you want to know more, you can go to perrycenter.org. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.